So President Trump, after renaming the Department of Defense, rightly so, the Department of War, getting back to our badass roots as America, America first, America the badass, rest of the world beware, stopping poison from entering our country, actually preventing some of the most vile human beings, these narcotic terrorists, also known as narco-terrorists, from smuggling contraband and all sorts of absolute disgusting filth, toxicity into our country. What do the Democrats do? Well, check out this guy. DEI hire Shri Thanedar, who I am 1 billion% convinced there is no way in a million years you can convince me that this guy won in a free, fair, and open election. And I'm going to tell you and show you exactly why. But now this swamp vermin of a human being wants to impeach the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. Watch.
Hello, this is Congressman Shri Thanedar. Today I introduced articles to impeach Secretary Pete Hegseth for murder and conspiracy to murder and reckless and unlawful mishandling of classified information. Since day one, Secretary Hegseth has disgraced that once proud office that he holds, from issuing orders to kill everybody on board a small boat with no evidence of any wrongdoing, to launching a follow-up strike to finish off survivors who barely clinging onto their life.
I don't understand it. Somebody tell me, how in the world does that guy get elected in Michigan? Somebody please tell me how this thing gets elected in Michigan. About the only thing that should be impeached, buddy, is the person who did your makeup, your eyebrows, and your fake rat-filled toupee that somehow just collapsed on your head. This is what I think he really looks like. This is probably exactly what he actually looks like. And boy, he's really upset that people online, including myself, are making fun of his looks. He really wants us all to stop.
They talk about my hair. They talk about my hair. They talk about my appearance. They talk about where I was born. They talk about everything, my looks. They talk about my age. They talk about why I should be deported back to the country where I was born. They talk about my past business dealings and they distort my business record. They do everything.
I mean, are you kidding me? How can we not, Mr. Tannenberg? Are you kidding me right now? Of course we're going to make money, you, because, you know, I come from an era like a Don Rickles where we all can laugh at each other. We don't take it very personally. And if you've got nothing to hide and if you've done everything perfectly, then what are you afraid of, my friend? Oh. This is the same guy, by the way. That was footage. This is the same absolute muck in the mud who introduced articles of impeachment to our president, President Trump, who's literally saving America. The hypocrites got Nathan, nothing, nada, goosek, zero. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. This is the same guy, by the way. This is the same guy. Not only did he introduce articles of impeachment, but check this video out. This insidious demon ghoul unqualified DEI hire is the same guy responsible for leaving over as a dog lover, this kills me. If you're a dog lover and this hurts you and just absolutely makes you livid, let me know in the comments. Just actually in the comments, tell me the name of your pet. I don't care if it's a dog, cat, because if you're an animal lover, you're in the right channel. This is the same guy who left over 150 dogs and monkeys to starve to death at an abandoned New Jersey testing lab that he owned.
Today we rescued 120 beagles from a lab in New Jersey that had gone out of business. And some friends of ours at an animal rights organization in New York City went and freed them and said, we need to do something with these animals.
It was just really amazing how things worked out. Just the other day, we're like, oh, wait a second. It's 4th of July. They're gaining freedom over Independence Day weekend.
Hi, puppy one. As they come off transport, we're hoping to deworm each dog. Oh, she clenches her mouth really tight, too, this one. Trim their nails and microchip each of them so they have a permanent identification before going into their outdoor runs.
Aww, look at your sweet girl.
We believe that they have never been outside ever. See the grass?
I don't think that they've actually had their paws on the grass. When I walked in here, it looked like they were walking on eggshells. They were kind of afraid to walk on the grass.
It's okay.
These are animals that don't understand what being a dog really is. And these are 120 animals that on this 4th of July have an opportunity to be free.
Just break your heart.
Hi, sweetie.
It's okay.
Well, he was shaking and hiding in the corner. And when I picked him up, his heart was beating really fast, just scared. And so I just put myself on the ground and let him come over to me little by little.
I can honestly say that my best friend of all time, is my dog Blue. You guys know I walk him every single day. I treasure that. He's my sanctuary. He's my savior. Besides my wife and kids, he's the most important thing that's ever happened to me. That story tells you everything you need to know about Shri Thanedar. I'm going to introduce articles of impeachment because I don't do anything. I'm a Democrat. And if you're a Democrat in 2025, there's a 99.99% chance that you're a lifelong vile criminal who leeches off hardworking, tax-paying Americans. And so what else do you expect me to do? Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, this guy was quizzed. So he was born in India. And this was after he filed articles of impeachment against President Trump. Now he's filing again article. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with that too. I did digging and research. I'll tell you exactly the probability of something like that happening. I can assume you probably know it's pretty low, but I'll get specific. This guy can't even listen to this quick clip. He was asked very easy questions about his own district, and he couldn't even name them. You think this guy could even find the Caribbean on a map? Watch this.
No. What are the 5 Grosse Points cities?
Well, look, I'm not here to answer a quiz. I'm here to say that I'm going to fight for the people of Detroit. I'm going to fight for my constituents.
And Grosse Pointe
and all of the Grosse Points and all of Taylor and every part of the 13th district.
Okay, I'm just do this real quick. Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe Woods, Grosse Pointe Farms, and Grosse Pointe Shores. Okay. Right. You know, on your campaign filings, it says occupation. Yours says United States government. Aren't you employed by the people of the United States?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, you fix that one. Okay, and finally, you're getting nailed with this one. The beagles. You abandoned the beagles, left them to die in their cages.
Kudos to that reporter, but if you think that was just it, but wait, there's more. Check out this stuttering, mumbling, fumbling, shuffling prick who can't even define. He's claiming that Trump, and he's talking about January 6th and all this crap. He's claiming that Trump is committing treason and committing insurrection on the American people. He gets asked point blank, can you please tell us what's in the Insurrection Act? Watch this absolute train wreck at work. Watch.
There's this raging argument now about whether it is constitutional to do what Trump is rolling out in places like Chicago.
It's unconstitutional. The solution is empower the local law enforcement.
Congressman, are you familiar with the Insurrection Act?
Yes, I am. And this
so what do you think that's for? You said that this was illegal for the federal government to send National Guard into cities and states. What do you think the Insurrection Act is for?
Congressman, do you actually know what the Insurrection Act says?
Well, look what we saw happen in January 6th in the Congress. That's insurrection.
Are you familiar with what the Insurrection Act allows?
Yes, I am. But look, this president has used all kinds of excuses to break the law. This precedent has
No, but that is the law. So what is the law, Congressman? You say you're familiar with the Insurrection Act, but you don't seem to be able to describe what it does. What do you think the Insurrection Act does?
Look, the issue here is that we need our cities safe. Americans want...
I mean, these guys think that we're stupid. These guys absolutely think they can get away with it. And because you know why? Because people like Obama, Biden, Soros, Kamala, Holly, weirdos like Clooney and the entire cabal, they've been letting them get away with it. This is why I say DEI is the worst contagion that has ever afflicted modern society. It puts shame to Ebola. COVID's got nothing on DEI. This is destructive. In the university, in the indoctrination camps, they've been pushing these Marxist-Leninist DEI ideologies. This is the great replacement theory. This is the white man propaganda that they've been slinging for decades. As long as you're brown, as long as you're black, as long as you're not white, you're in, because white ain't right. That's essentially what they think. Check this out. It gets even worse. This is my final clip to just kind of round out the character of Check out this clip at a town hall where he tries to deflect and avoid answering when a constituent blasts him. Forget this. Voting against the Laken-Riley Act. Watch.
You were one of 67 congressmen to not vote for the Laken-Riley Act and one of 10 senators. So 77 out of over 600. There must have been something in there that made you not want to vote for that, because you were such an outlier there. Can you please tell us why you didn't vote for the Laken-Riley Act?
We thought that the Trump administration would misuse that to harass people. We'll get you more information on that.
He wasn't president then. This was over a year ago. He voted against the Laken-Riley Act.
Not a good idea.
Good point. 30 seconds.
Hi.
No, what was your answer?
You didn't answer. I appreciate guys the process.
Of course he didn't answer, because he's a Democrat. Democrats don't have anything. They're just minions that take their walking orders. They're tramping orders from on high, from Obama and the rest of the cabal. So I want to talk about kind of what happens next here in this impeachment process. So the article that was introduced by this train wreck, Thanedar, HRES 935, accuses him. It's all about the Venezuelan boats and everything. So it's going to go through a committee referral and review, the House Judiciary Committee. Then it goes to a House floor vote, which if the committee reports that the articles are favorable, it'll move on there and go to the Senate, which is highly unlikely. If the House impeaches, the Senate conducts a trial presided over by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And 2/3 majority is required to convict and remove Hegseth from office. And that's really unlikely in a Republican-controlled Senate. How this will impact Pete Hegseth? Well, short term, he faces intensified scrutiny. It's the same garbage that's got Charlie Kirk killed. It's the same garbage that got Tim Pool's house shot up and puts anybody exercising their constitutional right to free expression and free speech in jeopardy, and their families in jeopardy. That's what their plan is, because they have nothing to run on. So this is egregious. People like this should be deported, arrested, detained, forced to be to resign, terminated, all the above. Let me know in the comments if you agree. The probability that this passes, that's really the important part here. The probability of the impeachment passing the House is very low, estimated at under 10%, due to the fact that this guy's a nut job, and obviously we have control of both legislators. So this is nothing but political theater. This is nothing but show, and what it does is it destabilizes trust in our government, in Trump, in our America First administration, and it foments division, hate, and violence, which is what the Democrats literally have PhDs in. If you're in Michigan and you're represented by this guy, I genuinely want to know, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below. As a matter of fact, everybody let me know what your thoughts are, and let them know, because the White House, a lot of these representatives, congressmen and women, their staff, their teams, they all watch this show. Let them know, are you as mad as I am? Are you as livid as I am? Make your voices heard. They will read your comments because they go through the comments, because that's what these staffs are intended to do, to deconstruct and find out the psychology of what the audiences of channels like mine and others, what they really think, so they can perform their psyopses. Tell them what you think. Tell them exactly what you think. Tell them the truth. And please, for the love of God, let's help make Common Sense go viral. Tap that thumbs up. It costs you nothing. It's free. It takes you less than a nanosecond. Share this video with everybody that you know. It would really help us out. Don't forget to check out these videos coming up on the screen right here that you see over here. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a thing. Turn on the bell notification to make sure you never miss out. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.